Built for More podcast, Denny Thompson, Pastor Joby Martin. I thought we had just done one of these, like just you and I, just a couple weeks ago. You know, it's been 10 episodes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So here we are with a recap again.
10 episodes, a lot to get into. Like, obviously, okay, I'm going to go through these because if anything jogs your memory, I want to know. Carter Bradley, D.R. Meadows, Ike Bucker, Mike Brown, Spencer Danielson, Logan Cook, Dave Campo, Luke Parker, Colt McCoy, and Mike Dragic, all since we've done our last one.
Yeah.
Flies by.
Lots of memories.
Yeah, flies by. Is there, well, I'll start it off. When I looked through that list, there was a very impactful moment from Logan Cook I'm going to get to in a second that you have a huge part to do with as well. But D.R. Meadows to me, obviously Mike and Colt all of them are awesome.
All of them.
But DR to me stuck out because of his age and the direction that kind of God threw him into, threw him out of, right? And then threw him into, and his willingness to follow that and just seeing like where that has led to and something that didn't even exist 5 years ago. And for those that don't know, D.R. Meadows plays center fielder for the Savannah Bananas.
He's the inventor of the backwards flip catch in center
field.
Yeah.
And since he's been on, they're on ESPN.
Blowing up.
Yes.
He was player of the week. Like he did our interview. They flew to Boston. I think it was Boston, played in Red Sox Stadium, and he was player of the week in Boston.
Yeah, that one to me was just like, when I left there, I was like, oh man, that's pretty cool. That's just cool. And that he's early 20s, right?
Yeah, he's a young guy.
Early 20s. That one to me was pretty special. We got like some updates on some guys too, because I like Carter Bradley. Came in here with the Raiders. Next thing you know, he's with Brock and Mac Jones with the 49ers. And then unfortunately he had an injury at the end of preseason. So, all these guys, Ike Bucker, Mike Brown, like all these guys, so much happens in their life, and it just makes me appreciate the time that they spent with us a little bit more. These guys are busy, bro.
Yeah, very busy. Especially with them, they feel like their whole lives are hanging in the balance every week.
They are. Yeah. Professionally, it is. And then obviously, probably one of my favorites just because I love the guy to death is Dave Campo.
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, just to hear the stories that guy, and maybe we should start shooting stuff off air because some of the stories that we got before. But I want to start off before we get to some questions with a couple of things. The Logan Cook one for me. There was I don't know if you remember this, but in the middle of it, we started talking about guilt, about feeling guilty for kind of the path that you're on. And I always want to be very transparent on this because I think a lot of people are kind of walking alongside with me. I'm not advanced. I'm not like in AP Christian classes yet. You know what I mean? But I asked you guys a question. I asked you a question about the guilt thing, and you made a reference to giving. And Logan followed it up right away to the point where it was like, okay, one, they've had this conversation before. And two, I need to step up to the plate on this.
Let's go.
And so I'm just going to be honest with this. Like, I've been a very inconsistent giver. And right after that, I just felt convicted. And by my standards, there's some people that, this isn't true, but by my standards, I wrote a very big check. And didn't win the lottery, didn't double it, didn't do anything like that. But what you guys said, so incredibly wise and so incredibly true. The peace that has come over me with that. I don't even, I'm going to get into joy in a second, but joy seems more accessible to me, if that makes sense. And I've told you this before, I'm not motivated by money, almost to a fault. Because like, I'll just leave money out there. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, all of a sudden now it's like, I want to see how much money I can give to God.
Let's go. That's a good motivation.
And
especially when you know it's all His.
Yes.
So that's where it starts. See, it's not about giving. Giving's not even a great word for it. It makes the most sense in English. But it's really bringing back to Him a portion of what He has given to you and me, right? So it starts with this. God is first. That's just who He is. He doesn't do second. Just like God's never been surprised, right? God just is first. And everything we have is a blood-bought grace gift that He has allowed us to steward for a time. So We don't really own anything. You can spend it, keep it, save it, but you're going to leave it all.
Yeah.
And then the biblical standard is that we bring to him first and best. And that we save some for the future and then enjoy it all unto his glory. And we need regular patterns of generosity because Jesus says that of all the things that compete for the human heart, money is one of the greediest ones. And you start grabbing some stuff and some stuff will start grabbing you.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've seen it a million times, right? Like guys have a lot of joy and have a lot of freedom, and then they start making a little bit of money, and now all of a sudden the worry increases and increases, and they lose all their joy.
Yep.
Or they can't spend time with the kids like they wanted to because they're trying to make more money. Or they buy a house they can't actually afford, but they're trying to impress everybody else. Now they can't do anything else, and all of a sudden they're a slave to the lender, and they're not free to do what God's called them to do, and it's no fun.
Well, and I'm only getting into this because I just want to be transparent with this. It's like I kind of went back. It was a stretch. Like I went back a year.
Stretching's good.
And on the other side of it is like, wait, that's all this costs? Like I should give more. It feels like that's a heck of a deal. You know what I mean? Like I mean, and I know that's not the right way to look at it because it's all his, but at the same time, I'm just kind of putting it into my words of like, well, wait a second, 10%. And I've had some stuff happen since then, by the way. Like, sure. I mean, it hadn't been. I don't want to misrepresent. It hadn't been sunshine and rainbows. Sure. But it's like that's 10%. That's it, and I get this comfort and this peace and just I don't know, like a feeling of closeness.
Yeah. One of the we just came off a weekend that if you would have told me 10 years ago or 15 years ago when I was a youth pastor that we would be able to do what we just did this weekend, I would think you're out of your mind. So we took Reagan to New York. So we fly up to New York. We stay at a great place, the JW Marriott, overlooking the Central Park. Got 2 rooms that were joined together because, you know, it ain't really a vacation if your 15-year-old daughter is sharing a room with you.
Correct.
Yes. You know, that's like, I don't know what that is.
It's worth the extra room.
100%.
Yep.
So we did that. We ate at great places. We ate at Peter Luger Steakhouse and Sparks and, you know, a lot of great places. We went to Hamilton, had great seats, and I let her do a shopping spree.
Nice.
It might have been $500
right
for her. Because you go to those little teeny bopper stores, you get 11 shirts and it's $19.
Right,
you know
right.
What I mean?
Yep.
So Gretchen goes on, it's a little bit different. Okay, so I don't know what the whole trip cost us, but the reason I have no guilt. Why? Because we bring our first and best to the Lord and over and above that by a long shot. And we were making memories with my wife and my kid. And there's nothing about it that was excessive. And we sponsor 7 compassion kids. So like when you have a constant pattern of generosity in your life, then you're actually free and we don't live above our means. So we haven't bought so much house, so we don't drive like crazy cars that we can't afford. So we can do stuff like this. And if she wants to, you know, buy this extra thing on that particular trip, we're like, yeah, no problem. Yep. And we just come home and everybody's pumped.
Well, I'm not going to be dramatic about it, but I mean, it was a daily like guilt feeling for me. Like I would wake up and there would be a feeling of guilt inside of me at all times that the smallest of things I would become emotional about. Right. And it's like, what in the heck is wrong with me? Like that's gone.
Yeah. There's freedom. I'm telling you, there's freedom.
Yeah. And it's just, it's interesting because like, it's not like I don't already know this, but the wisdom of you two just saying that to me, because that's not what I was looking for in that moment. I didn't know what y'all were going to say. I'm like, y'all, I feel guilty about this. And y'all both hit me with, you need to give some more, sucker. Like,
well, what's great about Logan and his wife, because I know him pretty well. Like of all the people we've had, I know him. I mean, he's been in this church a long time. And when he first signed for the Jags, you make pretty good money, especially as compared to pre-NIL kicking at Mississippi State.
Right.
But they pre-decided before all these really good contracts came in what they were doing. And they had pre-decided they were bringing their first 10% to the local church. And then once he signed a contract, they started a foundation to do some other things. But when you go ahead and make the decision that makes all the other decisions, then you're not all torn up about what to do.
Yep.
Like in my family, actually what we do is we set We try to do more than 10% here. And then above that, we support some missionaries and some compassion kids and stuff like that. But even then, I try to make sure I hit our annual number by November. One is because sometimes you just travel and you just forget, and I don't ever want to be behind. I want to be ahead.
Right.
I want to hit the number, and then I'm in the middle. I'm like, Thanksgiving's not here yet. And I'm like, okay, we're here. Well, why would we stop now?
Right. Yeah.
And that way, I've got a little extra that I can just kind of keep going on it as opposed to playing catch up.
Yeah.
You know how much freedom's there? There's just freedom.
Well, I do now.
Yeah.
I do now.
Right. Yeah, man. Yeah.
But it's, it's just, I don't know. It's a funny thing because for, Angie and I have an amazing relationship. Is we've been married for so long now that we don't have any other choice but to be honest with each other all the time because you know each other so well. And I go to the app and I put in the amount and I screenshot it and I send it to her and she just kind of sends me an emoji back like, whoa, And I just said, what do you think? And she's like, no brainer, and it's just, again, it's not like I immediately went out and doubled the money. And nothing has happened. Nothing.
Except what happens in you.
Except for the free. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I don't want to sit here and tell.
If you don't give to get. If you give to get, like he's not a slot machine. You're not trying to like trick God into getting more.
I didn't think I needed anything.
Yeah.
I wasn't given to get anything because I didn't think I needed anything.
Right.
Now on this side of it.
Freedom.
I did. Right. And so for me, like I if there's something that just changes my life in one of these things, I always want to bring it up. Yeah.
Well, there's another thing that also with Logan, because one of the things that Logan's just on a sweet deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all he wants to do, he's been very generous for a long time, and he bought him some land in Mississippi so that he can be close to his family and hunt turkeys and ducks again. Yep. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's not like he's not trying to impress anybody.
Yep.
That's what he wants to do. And so God's blessed him, and he should do that because he's going to enjoy it. God's going to be glorified. He's going to raise his kids on that land. He's going, you know what I mean? He's going to take some football players out there and introduce them to the activity of hunting. I mean, there's nothing, and he doesn't have to feel guilty because it's not like he robbed a God to try to get him some extra land.
Bro, wasn't it funny though? Because we're living in an area where NFL guys come here and they stay.
Yeah.
This man's like, I can't wait to get back to Mississippi. Yes. I'm from that area. That's a bold take there, Logan.
Yeah,
but
we meet a lot of people that stay here.
But you're pulling for him. Like, I mean, he's so excited about it. The other thing that we got a big reaction to before we get into some questions was the Spencer Danielson Joy conversation.
Bro, I've been texting with him since the opening game too.
Have you?
Yeah.
Didn't go his way.
No, he just owns it. He's like, hey, we got work to do. We got our butt handed to us. We got to get after it,
Yep. Well, I made the comment a couple after that about the joy thing. And apparently like that was a big part because when we had multiple clips that we released that just had hundreds and hundreds of comments about joy. Can we expand on that just for a minute on this? Because some of the questions that we got were very similar to the first ones we got, which is, in your current circumstances, how do you experience joy? If you're not in a situation you like, how do you experience joy? Like, things like that. And so I want to take a minute and dive into that a little bit.
Yeah. Well, there's a big in English we interchange joy and happy a lot, but biblically these are different things. That happiness is rooted in happenings, and joy is found in the person of Jesus. These are very different things. So the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. So the idea is the closer you get to Jesus, then the more fruit of his Spirit comes through you, and joy is produced from the inside out as opposed to manufactured from the outside in. So while I love America and I'm pro-America all the way, this idea of the pursuit of happiness is a pretty vain pursuit. Because what happens, man? You're happy because you're making money and the weather's great and you're sitting on the beach drinking a Mai Tai and all is well. And then the Yankees from Ohio start feeding the seagulls. They crap on you and there goes happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Joy would be knowing that the God of the universe loves you and you're going to get to go back to the beach at another point and he's not done with you. Happy would be it's all just dependent on how things are going that day.
Right. Well,
very fleeting.
I don't, try not to quote too many Bible verses because I don't want to mess them up.
Well, no, go for it.
But
the translations.
Yeah, I mean, James 1:2 is consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds.
Ooh.
Yeah. And that's the thing that, I've had that one on my heart for a couple years. Just everybody faces tough times.
What's crazy about that? Okay, so like Romans 8:28, people love to quote, God is at work in all things for the good of those that love him and are called according to his purpose. So it's one thing to look over your shoulder at what felt like a bad circumstance. And now today, years removed, you can see how God worked in that and say, okay, thanks. James takes it a step further. James is like, when you face trials, like you see it coming and go, I'm taking joy. But the only reason you can do that is because when he keeps going, he's like, because God is about to use these circumstances to build some things in you that wouldn't be in you if you didn't go through these tough circumstances. This is what I yelled at the Providence football team that time when they were all kind of halfway working out. And I screamed at them, everybody wants to be strong, nobody wants to be sore.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a lot of Christians that say they want integrity and character and perseverance. Well, bro, the only way those things are built is getting into the weight room of life and sweating it out, man. Like you had to walk through some terrible times when your wife gets diagnosed with cancer. Mm-hmm. Well, you wouldn't be the husband you are today. God was forging in the fire some things by going through the tough times. Now, today, you can look back and be like, thank you, God, for using that time. The mature Christian, when they're hit head on with tough times, tough circumstances, they're like, all right, God, I believe in you to the point where I know you're sovereign over all things, and I'm believing you're going to use this for my good and your glory. And if it ain't good, he ain't done. Because God works all things for the good.
Mm-hmm. In hindsight, I wish, because you spend such a large percentage of your life in troubling times.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you just automatically, like you said about happiness is rooted in happenings, if you're just automatically unhappy or unjoyful every single time that something happens, big, small, whatever it is, whether it's cancer or you stub your toe, like you're literally waving the white flag on months and years of your lifetime, right? And I've never met a person who is truly joyful who hasn't been through some crazy stuff.
I also think joy is a choice, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a bunch of people, and they have so much to be grateful for. I mean, honestly, they got it made. They got healthy kids. They live a sweet life. They got a husband that loves them or a wife that loves them. They live indoors. They eat hot food. They got plenty of money. Nobody's as rich as they want to be or whatever. And yet they choose kind of disappointment every day. Kind of choose to focus on everything that's wrong when so much is right in their life. One of the things that helps me is that I got a birthday coming up. And around my birthday every year, I started this a long time ago. I was feeling sorry for myself for some dumb reason, which is so dumb. And I just decided to write down a gratitude list. So I'll be 52 years old. So currently I have 51 things on my phone that I'm grateful for. Some of them are super serious, like my salvation, my children, my wife, this church. Some of them are silly, honestly. Back-to-back national championships for the Georgia Bulldogs. The Piney Woods of South Georgia, whatever. And when I feel myself kind of getting into that entitled or, I'm choosing not to see the sunshine, I'm seeing the clouds, I just bust that thing out and I start reading through it. And gratitude will have a tendency to tip you over towards joy more than anything else.
Do you think that, you turn on the news, you turn on anything, it's attacking joy. Essentially what it's saying is things are so bad that you have no right to be happy about anything. You have no right to be joyful because you should worry about this and this and this and this. How much of just the news cycle, the social media cycle that we live in is really attacking our joy?
Yeah, man, we're bombarded on every front.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's got their own whatever kind of news they intake, and it's not good.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just scroll on our phones, and I don't think the human brain was meant to take in this amount of useless information about the whole world.
Yeah.
And the science is in. It's not good. The experiment is not going well.
Yeah, the chat GPT stuff.
Bro, this is
crazy.
Not good. Yeah. So, because what'll happen too, I've talked about this recently. Here's what'll happen. You'll take a dad and, he's got a few kids in his house, and he sits on the couch cussing his cable news, and he's got ideas about Israel and Gaza, and he's got ideas about Russia and Ukraine and about the southern border.
Yep.
And he has no idea what's happening in his kid's life. And they're being discipled by demons on their iPads, and he has no idea, you know?
Yeah.
Or he can tell you everything about the president and the cabinet. He doesn't even know who his school board people are.
Mm-hmm.
That's a part of the trick,
Yep.
you know? And so it's sort of like, I bet you run into this, the correlation is kind of the guy that knows exactly what you know, Liam should do in every game for the Jags, but, you know, that guy can't even run a 40.
Yeah, the dude yelling in the stands, throw the ball. Like, bro, yeah, no question. I heard you on another podcast, I think it's fairly recently, talking about how the devil will attack generations.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And it almost kind of put me into a different frame of mind, and I started thinking about that with this joy piece. Joy is mentioned so frequently in the Bible, but yet joy is under attack all the time. And if you're walking around and you don't have joy, like, how are you truly spreading such good news about people's future? Like, if you're walking to me and trying to tell me this news and you look miserable, like, bro, I'm not going to listen to you, you know? And I think it hinders our ability to witness to others, because all of our joy is sucked out of us by things that we don't even need to be paying attention to. And I firmly believe that our joy, like you say, men are under attack. I firmly believe that joy is under attack as well.
Well, look at Coach Spencer Danielson and how much he stuck out from what, I mean, look at all the there's so much film on coaches being interviewed all the time, you know, and the amount of pressure and the stress that they're under. And dude, he was just different. I mean, he talked different. He looked different. I'm telling you, dude, if my son was a 5-star kid, I would want him to go play for that man.
No question.
Wouldn't you?
Yes.
Because joy is also contagious.
Yeah.
You know, you get around miserable people, man. Misery loves company.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be around. My football coach used to tell me all the time, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. So if you're hanging out with miserable people all the time too, bro, then you're going to get sucked down into it. And so maybe try to hang out with some people that bring a little joy to the situation.
I mean, negativity is just the biggest shift that I had in my life as far as like brain power and being able to execute things that I felt like I could execute is when I got away from negative people. When I got away from people that every time I had an idea, they had an excuse.
It's just so easy. It's the lowest common denominator to point out.
It's exhausting too.
Listen, man, it does not, you know how many emails I get about all the things wrong I'm doing and we're doing? I mean, okay, so what? Who can't point out what's wrong?
Right.
My dog points out, just walks around and barks at everything that's wrong. It has done nothing to fix the situation.
Yep.
You are unhelpful just barking at all the wrong things, man.
Yep.
And it's just so easy. It's the lowest common denominator. It takes the lowest IQ. It takes the least amount of creativity. It takes the least amount of energy. Just the man. There are people that make excuses or make things happen. They're never the same people.
No.
I am allergic to complaining.
I am too now. And it gossip, complaining,
I ain't got
whatever it is. It's just non-productive. And I often think about, like, you think of all the miracles in the Bible and, you know, the negativity around. Like, imagine, I'm thinking about me. Imagine if I'm a soldier and the plan is David's going to throw a rock at Goliath.
Right.
Like, I'm going to look around like, wait, what?
Wait a second, yeah.
Like, this ain't going to work. Like,
Right.
What are you talking about, right? So it's like, how many times am I negative around somebody that is their David opportunity?
Yeah.
That takes them off of that path, right? Because this happened to me. You know, I've been around friends that it's like, man, I really want to do this, and they just shoot it down. And then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, maybe I don't.
A part of the reason I'm sitting in the seat I am now, first time I ever preached at camp, I was 19 years old, and Coach Bully, it couldn't have been good. And I walk off the stage, and he puts his finger in my chest and says, boy, when you teach the Bible, I see two things happen. I see them come alive, I see you come alive. And I thought, And then I had these men in my life, a lot of pastors, a lot of people in authority over me, speak things into me that I did not see in me, including Pastor Jerry Sweat telling me, we should plant a church with you as the lead pastor. There's no way I would have volunteered to do this. So I want to be the kind of person that speaks life into people. Now, listen, when I was coaching ball, I was hard, I was tough, but man, I tried to, when you catch somebody doing it right, I just tried to like blow them up in the best way possible, especially young men. All men are like puppies, man. They repeat what is rewarded.
Yes.
So even this weekend, we're flying back from New York. Reagan had the best time. We went and saw Hamilton. She cried at the end. I was like, why are you crying? And she was like, I just can't believe we're here, you know?
Yeah.
So we're walking out of the Jacksonville airport, which I love. We have the best airport on the planet. It's just the right size. You can get in and out. It's sunny and bright. And I was just like, baby, you traveled so well. You know, like you're a 15-year-old girl. You're like at the peak of the group of people that complain the most and you didn't. You were just so, why? Because I want her to repeat what she just did. And so I want her to know we noticed it and we rewarded it. And so way to go.
Yep.
See, people will step into that as opposed to being beat up and beat down all the time. And honestly, I think a part of what Coach Danielson brought is maybe some coaches and dads and, you know, parents will hear that and bring a little joy in their businesses and their homes and their teams.
Mm-hmm. I am, as you're saying that, and I just told you this right before we went on. I haven't even told him this, but he'll know before this airs. Like, just found out my 14-year-old tore his ACL.
Ugh.
And it's going to be devastating to him.
Oh, yeah.
Devastating. And it's like all I can think in my mind is, okay, how am I going to tell him? And then, like, how am I going to do this in a way that makes him see that all things work for good and that we can be productive and joyful and learn lessons through these next, 10 months or whatever it is. And at 14 years old, man, football means everything to this kid.
Yeah, he's going to have some decisions to make.
And so, but that's real
recovery.
Life.
Yeah, it's real life.
Yeah.
And here's the thing too, man. Sometimes what parents can do, you're 50 and you're talking to your 15-year-old and you have the perspective of 50.
Yep.
And I think it's actually a mistake. But hey, it's going to be fine. One day this is going to be a part of your story. It's not that big a deal. Bro, when you're 15 or 14, this is the biggest thing you've ever gone through in your life. And there is no difference in his emotional response to this and, Namath, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it's a time to be able to speak some like, hey, bro, you now have the opportunity to take this thing head on. You're not the first athlete to have an injury. And the daily decisions you make over the next 10 months will define the rest of your football career.
Yes.
And this is what you get to do. And because you also mentioned before we started recording, he's been practicing on this thing for.
He's a savage.
Like, right. So I know you have it in you.
Yep.
Now you get to shift that from game prep to rehab.
Yep.
And I'm going to be right here with you. And I'm so proud of you for being a stud and not complaining. I mean, you threw two touchdown passes in practice yesterday. So, yeah.
Well, I'm going to, think about just putting him on the phone with Carson.
No doubt.
I mean, literally just got done. That's the beautiful thing about this.
Which, by the way,
bro.
Blow up.
Bro, you talked about your
game?
weekend, man. Like, same thing. It was like a pinch me moment. Like, we brought the whole family down to Miami. That's so much fun.
Incredible.
And he was not just incredible. We got to see the Carson that we saw in here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you saw
even the commentators are like, Carson Beck's loving football again.
Yeah. I mean, just to see the way that dude battled through this year. And, I'm so lucky to be right there with him, almost on a daily basis. And then to see him rewarded with that.
And then get choked up in his interview.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Because you were.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I saw it. And
I know you were in the stands or whatever while it was.
Yeah, no, it just probably one of the most fulfilling nights of my professional career.
That's cool, man. Yeah, you poured a lot into that young man.
Well, it's not even, not even, it's just I know what that kid went through last year.
Sure.
And to see him, like, it's funny because Cody was with us and I was telling all of our people, I'm like, I don't need 300 yards and 5 touchdowns. I just need him to be on that field.
Yeah.
Because that's a win with what this dude just went through.
He lit it up.
Yeah, he lit it up, man. It's fantastic.
Notre Dame. I mean, it's not like.
No.
Marshall.
And what a great example, too, because maybe I will have him talk to Walker because.
You should.
Not only did he deal with injury, but he dealt with just getting raked publicly.
Crazy.
For 4 or 5 months.
About everything. About his personal life.
Everything.
About his.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that kid chose, made a conscious decision and chose,
See,
I'm going to be joyful through this.
here's how fickle the world is, though. So 2 years ago, he's a hero.
Mm-hmm.
Then he gets hurt, moves to Miami. His girlfriend breaks up with him. His Lambo gets stole, and everybody's making fun of him.
Yep.
Now he's a hero again.
Yep.
Screw the world, man.
Yep.
They got nothing for you. They got nothing. Play the game, enjoy it. You know what I mean?
The same dudes that were doing podcasts talking about how bad he was.
Now they're
like, he may be a top 10 pick. Like, man, come on,
man. He's gonna be a top. He's like a Heisman hopeful again.
Come on. So yeah, man. I mean, real life happens in this stuff,
and that's going to be one of the top defenses he plays.
Yeah. I mean, that's a very good football team.
I know he lit it up.
Very good football team, and heck of an environment in Miami. Too.
That's just the thing. That's how fickle this world is, man. So if you live to please it, then it's gonna turn on you.
Well, you can talk about, you can look at this with injuries. You can look at it with losing a job. You can look at it with being diagnosed with a disease. You can look at Colt McCoy. I thought one of the things he said that just stuck out to me was like, I didn't feel the right side of my body for 2 years.
Bro.
Like he's playing in the NFL.
For 14.
Yes. I mean.
He's a really good, like he said, he had the opportunity to be a franchise quarterback at multiple places. And he did. He was, if he'd come out his junior year, he'd have been the number 1 overall pick. Gets that freak injury, battles through it, and yet 14 years in the league, as successful as you can be, wife that he adores, kids, and now he's running a business that he wants to run. Mm-hmm. The other thing I thought was really big about that, he didn't get caught up in other people defining what success would be for him. Because I think in his world, not his own personal world, but in the ecosystem around him, the goal was to be like the head football coach of the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. And he looked at it and was like, I don't think that's what the Lord has for me. And that joker just seemed alive and leading and very successful.
Yep.
Because he's doing what God has for him.
Well, let's take that injury as a perfect example of that. I think if you hear that story and you don't know anything about Colt McCoy and you hear him say, well, I couldn't feel the right side of my body for 2 years and I'm playing at the highest of level. Well, in the fairy tale ending, you think, well, he made Pro Bowls and he's a Hall of Famer and all that kind of stuff. That's not what happened, but that part of his story resonates with so many people.
So many, right?
I mean, so many people have that injury or that hurt or that whatever for a couple of years. And I think a lot of people would have just been, well, I lasted as long as I could. I can't play at this level. That dude,
And he said in year 11 and 12, he was throwing the ball better than he ever had.
Yeah, and think about how different his testimony would be if he would have just walked away, which would have been very easy to do with that injury. Because Colt McCoy in Texas can make money doing anything.
Yeah. He just opened Colt McCoy Ford or whatever.
Yes.
Just sell trucks.
100%, yes.
Well, there's 2 things that stood out about him for me. One is he's a sophomore or a junior in college, and he goes and finds Matt Carter, the pastor of his local church, who's now on our teaching team, and just says, will you disciple me? Mm-hmm. And then in his off seasons, he would go find CFOs and CEOs and intern for them in the off season just to learn.
Yeah, that was wild.
So that's never going to go away for him. He's probably going to be the best, real estate person ever because he's just a lifelong learner.
Without question, because most time people are interning to get a job. This man once had a job that paid millions of dollars. He's like, I got a couple weeks off. I'm going to go work for free.
Kind of reminds me when Josh Wells, who we kind of did in the first group of them, I talked to him this morning. When he was in his off season, he would come intern here at the church and go to our prison ministry every week and serve there.
Built for more.
Yeah,
I mean that's yeah. And then Mike Drockich. I
love it.
Wow,
what a stud.
What I wish people could have been in here for that because I haven't listened to it yet.
Oh, I listened to it this morning.
Did you?
Yeah.
I haven't listened to it, but I can tell you, in here, it was intense. And we could have gone another 2 hours.
They hosted their first retreat at his new ranch, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was 10 veterans. Yeah, they killed about a bunch of pigs. And
Incredible.
He's given his life to the service of others.
Yeah, and just raw. Just I'm going to tell you like it is. Mm-hmm. I think it's the first one we had to bleep out a word.
He was trying so hard. That's the least amount I've ever heard him cuss.
I was so happy because I didn't drop the first cuss word on this thing, man. We have a couple of questions that I
Okay.
want to get into because one of them is right along the lines of what we're talking about here. Like one of the first questions we got was, let me find this. How does discipleship look practically? Who do you decide to disciple, and what do you do? We were just talking about.
That's good. What discipleship has turned into in the church today is like Bible knowledge. And Bible knowledge is so important. It's very important. But first century discipleship, if you remember, Jesus goes up to the boys fishing on the sea and is like, follow me. And so there was this phrase in the first century, when you would follow a rabbi, you would say, may I be covered in the dust of my rabbi. That I'm just going to follow in your footsteps, and not only am I going to learn what you teach, but I'm going to become who you are. So modern day discipleship is not just let me teach you Bible things, but let me demonstrate for you and show you what it looks like to love the Lord your God in every aspect of your life, heart, soul, mind, and strength. So I've got a few relationships where primarily what I do is we walk through the Shema. So how are you loving the Lord your God with all your heart? So what are the relationships in your life looking like? Are you loving your wife? Are you loving your kids? Do you have some friends that are holding you accountable, that kind of thing? Are you loving God with your mind? What's going on up here? You know, we talk about that kind of stuff. For a lot of people, unless they're like playing pro football, that's oftentimes their vocation. You know, most of us work with our mind. Are you loving your Lord your God with all your soul? This would be typically what you think about. Are you doing the kind of things that stir your affections for the Lord? What are some of the sins that are taking you out? What are the temptations that are in your life? You got to be honest about these things. And then finally, how are you loving God with your strength? Are you stewarding your physical body? Like, are you taking care of yourself so you can be around for the long haul here? That's typically what we'll do. I'm about to invite 6 guys from our staff, and I'm going to start discipling them. I just decided not too long ago. These are all guys in their 30s that I think have a big, bright future here. Mm-hmm. They're not all pastors. Some of them are in operations and stuff. They're just some of our best leaders. We'll just do that. And then a big part of discipleship, like with all these guys that I disciple, is what questions do you have about life? Mm-hmm. You know? Because, it's funny. Like Brock, before he signed that big deal, we were talking. But what are you going to do with this money? It was unbelievable, man. He's so generous. He's so humble. I had to encourage him. I was like, dude, you need to get you something fun. You like, you serve.
It's okay, dude.
God's a good dad, man. Get you a bass boat and a truck or something. He's like, really? I'm like, you're gonna be okay. You know, you know what I mean?
Interest from 1 month with your money.
Correct.
Yes.
Like, just enjoy this. Of course, you're gonna be generous. You're gonna do you're gonna do all that stuff. Just take a breath. But a lot of it is like, all right, did you ever deal with this with your wife? What about when your kid did this? It's a lot of that. Mm-hmm. It's way more just follow me as I follow Christ. That's true discipleship.
So is that because there's discipleship groups, there's, all that kind of stuff. Like when you're looking for a disciple, I've been in Bible study groups and things like that. Like, what are the things that somebody should look for? Let's say somebody's listening to this and they don't know what to do or where to go or anything like that, but they know that they need to be led somewhere.
Yeah. Well, things like discipleship groups are just the entryway by which you hope to meet some people that will help you love Jesus more. The group itself is fine. The group text sometimes is just as important as what happens in the group. Like, who's praying for you? Who can you be honest with? Who can you confess good things and bad things to? These are just the environment. The group is the environment that makes those things available. Regardless of how old you are, if you're a dude, here's what you need to do. Find an older man, older than you. So if you're 20, that means 40. That's fine. Mm-hmm. But if you're 40, it should be 60 or whatever. Find an older man with a worn-out Bible and a wife with a smile on her face. And just say, can I spend some time with you? And my encouragement, if you're a younger guy, offer like, hey, I'll buy breakfast. What can I do for you that would make you want to spend a little bit of time with me?
Right.
And then just ask questions. Don't waste that dude's time.
I saw this in action. When we first started this podcast, I was telling you about this. I had a group of guys that we did a Bible study 20-something years ago. Mm-hmm. And we were all super close, very close, and just great dudes. And they've been thinking about starting this thing again. But what they wanted to do was do like once a quarter, big group, and then break out, meet, all that kind of stuff. So I went a couple weeks ago, and bro, they had 60 guys sitting in a circle on a Saturday night when the Jags are playing.
Mm-hmm.
That's
a small church.
Yeah. And just all sitting outside, and I'm listening to these guys that at one point I was 22 years old with, and they are just dropping wisdom.
Yeah.
Like left and right. Yep. And it's like, man, I haven't, these are good friends, but I haven't spent time with them in that way in so long that I didn't realize, like, man, I need these guys.
Well, what happens, the problem with guys like us, you get really busy and you settle for buddies without that focus on, we're going to talk about real things. So we had Jeff Kopp on, right? Early on. Kopp's one of my mat carriers. He's one of my neighbors. Since he joined the JSO and my life is busy, we've been on a little season. I haven't seen him as much as I need to.
Right.
I texted him and Charles Martin and one other of my buddies and said, all right, boys, I hate to do this, but my team is going to begin scheduling time with us together because what used to happen organically has just kind of slipped out. My life is going great, but my life is greater with you in it. So get ready, everybody good with that. It'll be a breakfast here, a lunch there, a hunting, whatever.
Yep.
But if it's and intentionally, we're gonna ask. The easiest way for me is just do heart, soul, mind, and strength. How's everybody's marriage, kids, friendships? Check. Yep. How's your health? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about your soul. Anything hindering your walk with Jesus? What's going good? What's not going good?
Yep.
That's it, dude. You just do that. How about your mind? Are you mentally healthy? You got joy in your life? Or are you depressed?
Well, it's so funny. Usually, I was driving back from Miami. This was 2-3 weeks ago. You remember that old song, that Joy and Pain? I think it was like, you remember that?
Yeah.
I was like in a rental car and I was on Sirius or something, and it played. I don't even remember listening to it, but it was in my head for like 3 days, kind of catchy. And I just started every day going, okay, today, right now, what am I joyful about? And what is causing me any type of pain or anxiety, all based off of hearing this song, right? And it's helped so much, but one of the things that I quickly noticed was, and a lot of times it's the thing that causes you the extreme joy that you're also anxious about.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
My marriage is so good, and I love my wife so much. Okay, what's my biggest fear? Something happening to her.
Same.
You know what I mean?
Yep. And
it's like I didn't realize the correlation of that until I started doing this exercise.
Mm-hmm.
And where I kind of landed with that is I need to get plugged back into with some dudes. And that's exactly what I thought of when you just said
One of the things we will do even now with my family is when we do family dinner, we just do highs and lows. It could be called joys and pains. It could be called, like joy and stress, whatever it is.
Yeah,
but it's like, I wanted to train my kids to learn how to put words around what was going on inside of them and get used to talking about that with other people. Yes. That's it. That's it. And we don't even necessarily try to fit. We just say it. You don't have to defend it. But let's just talk about the highs and the lows of the week. What are you pumped about? What are you bummed about? It's very important.
Talk about a life lesson too, is that ability to actually communicate what you want to in a way that others can understand.
Yeah,
will get you so far in life if you can learn that at a young age. While we're on the marriage thing too, since we hit on it real quick, somebody asked, we had a couple marriage ones. This one's interesting. He says, can my marriage be saved if my wife wants nothing to do with Jesus and never will?
If the tomb is empty, anything is possible. Yeah.
Right.
You've got to love her like Christ loved the church, because before you got saved, you didn't want anything to do with him either, and he transformed your heart. So there is the possibility that her heart from the inside out could be transformed. Saul was killing Christians. He was not on the top 10 list of most likely to get saved at the next revival. And God saved him, changes his name to the Apostle Paul. Okay. Now, nagging is never going to get there. Serving and loving her is. Like the way this man treats her is going to be the thing that convinces her this whole thing's got to be real. You being right as a husband is going to have zero impact. You being a servant is your only chance.
She needs to see God through him.
100%.
Yeah.
Now, Corinthians would say if she abandons you, if an unbelieving spouse abandons you, then you're okay to let that happen, but you should pursue her with everything you're made of.
We also got another one like kind of the opposite of that. Our guy, Last in Line Leadership, love that dude. He said, "Great show, gentlemen. In what way is the Lord molding or refining in you as a husband?"
Gosh,
yeah.
I did a retreat recently. I was speaking at a Rocky Mountain Men's Summit in Colorado with Pastor Jim Bergen. He preached at Saturated last year. And he gave his talk about what's the thing that's hindering your walk with Jesus. And he made us all take these rocks and carry them around for the weekend. And I called Gretchen and I was like, well, I'm about to tell you something. And you cannot use it against me in a couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't shoot me with the bullets I'm going to hand you.
Right.
You understand? But I think the root of most of my stuff is just selfishness.
Mm.
It's just selfishness. Like, when I don't get what I want, I pout.
Yeah.
Or I'm happy to serve everybody as long as it's convenient and I scheduled it. But my calendar rules, it revolves around me. And then I can build this whole thing in my mind at home and be like, well, everybody gets to live here because I got a job, And I'm asking her to help me with it.
We both have roles where we have people dedicated to helping us.
Correct.
Yeah, and that's and dude, I know what you're talking about more than I can even explain. It is I'm in the same boat. I think for me, when I look at what you and I are the same. We've both been married forever.
Mm-hmm. It's a great one.
Right. And we've talked about that, but I think for me, we're in such a different season of our life. We have one grown kid.
Mm-hmm.
We have a 14-year-old, and then my wife, who's been a stay-at-home for the last little while, has decided that she wants to she's basically done it, go get her master's and be a Christian counselor.
Incredible. We need that in Jacksonville.
So she decided that right after her last cancer surgery. I mean, tube in her neck. She's like, no, I want to go to Liberty and I want to get this done.
Well, we'll load her up.
which made me, she's my hero. But what I've noticed is, I'm at a place where it's like
it's impinging upon your life.
I want to travel. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's that same thing.
Yeah.
It's that same thing. But I know with 100% certainty that I need to support her in this because this is what God has called her to do
100%.
And has huge plans in it. And it's not anything that it's like I'm vindictive about, but I do have to check myself. I do have to. Because the same thing, I'll pout about it. I'm like, well, I want to go to California and you got to go to school?
What was incredible, so I called Gretchen and she wasn't like, yep, you're right. I've been waiting for you to say this for 25 years. It wasn't that. She was like, what do you mean? We talked about it a little bit. She's like, well, how do you think I can help? It landed on the softest place ever. It wasn't a harsh response. It wasn't like, she also didn't belittle it. She was like, well, you all worked up because you're at this men's thing.
Right.
You've been praying and
this ain't gonna last.
Yeah. It was just so sweet.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. And then my first instinct was, if I don't tell her right now, I'm going to try to manage this. Because nobody's calling me selfish.
Which is what you're actually confessing to.
Correct. Because I know how to play. I know how to do it. I know when to take the trash out, and I know when to take Gretchen out enough, and I know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so.
Is that your pet peeve, by the way, as you get older, is like when you see these guys and it's like, man, you're just manipulating a relationship here. It gets under my skin so much because all of us who have any brain power are smart enough to get ourselves out of situations.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's gotten to a point where it's like, man, come on, like use that same intelligence and that same like passion towards actually confessing some things and moving forward. And it's crazy with we both have amazing marriages and we're sitting here talking about how we can do better.
One thing that when Pastor John MacArthur died several weeks ago, and they were showing all these clips of him, and he can be a harsh dude, but he's a Bible guy. But one of the things that he said is, the longer you're a Christian, two things simultaneously happen, and it kind of reminds me of being married. He's like, you're going to sin less, and it's going to hurt more.
Mm. Yeah.
Like you're going to be way tore up over things that you used to not even really consider a sin. It's kind of like that in marriage. 25 years in,
mm-hmm.
We're not talking about being unfaithful. We're not talking about verbal abuse. We're not talking about anything like that. We're talking about, we're down to we're fine tuning this thing.
Mm-hmm.
We still gripe at each other and can get sideways and all of that. But that's where we are. We're like trying to fine tune this thing. You know, I'm confessing selfishness, and my wife is saying to me, "Well, I need you to explain more because that's not the word I would necessarily use." You know,
You're going first.
yeah, and so
Like in a good way, I mean.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so, you know, and that's really good because nothing will help the sanctification process like being married. Dude, you don't know how selfish you are until you get married. You know what I mean? You're like, golly,
Oh,
I'm the
100%.
worst.
I don't know. I'm not a marriage counselor, but I think that people get to a point in their marriage where it's like, you know, the other one's primary and chief concern is the other one's happiness and safety. And it goes both ways.
Mm-hmm.
And you start to see sacrifices. You start to see like, it's not even a sacrifice. Like, I just want my wife to be well and happy.
Me too.
And whatever that means I need to do, my reward is her being well and happy. And she wants that from me as well.
Right.
And the minute that all changes in a marriage is the minute everything changes. It's like when I'm not trying to go steal time or find time or, you know, disregard her feelings. When I put her first, man, is when I'm 100% the happiest.
I just genuinely like my wife better than most people.
Same.
Like I just do. Like I mean,
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Yep. You give me a choice to go hang out with somebody and hang out with her, I'm gonna hang out with her. Like,
Same.
and yeah. That's why I need to get out to this men's group more.
I know, right? Yeah.
That's why you're scheduling this stuff. Couple of ones about kind of the whole theme of the last time we did this. It's like I'm currently in an apprenticeship, but I feel drawn to more service, firefighter, etc. is one of them. And then there was another one that how do I leave my job to pursue my calling into student ministry?
Mm-hmm.
My wife's a housewife.
Okay.
Anything on either one of those?
Well, I mean, bro, your first calling is to take care of your wife and kids. So sometimes it gets really hard. If you adjust your budget, you're going to have to adjust your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just a part of it. You don't get to just live however you want to live and go into ministry, you know? And so that is a team decision between you and your wife. And all the way through school, through school and when I was a youth pastor at first, I had multiple jobs. So even I'd gotten my master's degree and I was a pastor, ordained, and a youth pastor, and I'm still doing personal training on the side so that we could buy a house and get a car and stuff. Bro, you just got to grind.
Yep.
Just because God calls you to do something doesn't mean you're just entitled to a certain lifestyle.
Probably going to find a skill in the things that you had to do that will help you in the things that he wants you to do.
Correct.
So just like you, I mean, I sold cars, I sold websites, I sold anything I could sell,
Right.
like week to week. And I go back to that time a lot in my current business, and it's given me a skill set that's rare in my business. Is the path that God put me on. So yeah, I mean, sometimes when I read those, it's like, let's not get calling and jobs
Correct.
confused here.
Yeah, and it's not either or.
Right.
I mean, the fact that, for the guy that wants to go into student ministry, dude, this is I was talking to Logan when I was like, you're blessed to be born right now because the fact you can kick a ball a long ways is pretty irrelevant until like 50 years ago. You know what I mean? Like if it's 100 years ago, like neat. Get back in the field, tall guy.
Yeah, yep.
So
Get back in the field, tall guy.
you know what I mean? Because we'd all just be farmers,
Yeah.
I couldn't be in ministry. I'd be out there plowing a field or whatever. So like student ministry as a career, this is a very new idea. You can disciple teenagers no matter what your job is. Now, you feel called to go into student ministry, great. You might have to have another job in order for you to do the thing you feel called to do.
Mm-hmm.
No problem. There's a lot of people are at a church, and their vocation is not their calling. They do their vocation so that they can fund the thing they feel called to do.
I saw a stat the other day. What is the true stat with church attendance right now as compared to recent history? Is it up, down?
Bro, it's, well...
I know our church is...
Yeah, our church is...
I'm just talking national average.
Gen Z is flooding back to church. Like, so college age down, the attendance is spiked like crazy.
What is that overall percentage in the country of people that regularly attend church or identify as Christians?
I think it's about half. I think it's somewhere around half that identify. But I don't think they've like put their faith in Christ, but they would say, I'm a Christian because I'm not.
So there's roughly 350 million people in this country who do not actively go to church even, or pursue God in any way.
Correct.
It seems like there's a lot of discipleship opportunities. It seems like there's a lot of opportunity to go with what our calling is without leaving anywhere, right?
Well,
like your neighbor's probably one. Your neighbor's probably one.
Yeah. In fact, according to Ephesians, the role of the pastors is to equip the saints for the work of the ministry.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about it, man. You have way more influence in this city with lost people than I do. I have a huge influence with found people because they come to church.
Yep.
Even if lost people come to church, they're at least checking it out. Like,
right.
The hard work's done.
Yep.
Part of the reason I started training at Campy's gym next door is just to be around some more people that aren't church people. Because when I was coaching, I always had like the kids and the parents, and that was kind of my go-to. But I was talking to a guy yesterday. He just moved here. He's been here 2 weeks. I'm going to baptize him. I closed the deal. Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to put myself in places where I can just rub elbows with people on a regular basis to get to know them.
Yeah.
And so speaking of, Armando, the big jack who used to train you, he says hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just invited him
yoked,
to church.
Bro.
Dude, he's perfection.
Yeah, I can't train with somebody that
physical. He's just incredible.
He's like, yeah, we're gonna do this weight, and he's like one arm in it, and I'm like, bro, like, come on, man, like, I can't do that. No, it's I don't know. I mean, I recently have just started looking for opportunities because I'm not technically, I do this podcast with you, but I'm not in ministry. You know what I mean? Like, I do this podcast, I'll walk out.
You have a lot of influence.
I understand, but I want more face-to-face.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm uncomfortable with.
We'll pray about it. Pray for it. Ask for opportunities and keep your eyes open.
Yep. Yeah, because I'm super uncomfortable in that way.
Yeah.
And so it's like I want to break that seal, and I want to learn how to do it. And the only way you learn how to do it is do it.
Yep.
Right? And one thing that I want to get to before we wrap is and when this is going to air, it's going to be the week of Saturated.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. And so, if you're not local, then find a way here. If you are local, you have no excuse. Mm-hmm. Can you give us kind of a history of where Saturated started and kind of, has it exceeded the expectations, or did you have expectations? Like what just kind of the 30,000 foot.
So I grew up in the South, but didn't really grow up in church. So I kind of thought I was a Christian by birth, which is not true. But I believed in God like I believe in SEC football and the Second Amendment. I thought it was all one thing. So I go to camp. I got saved at camp. And if you grew up in church, especially like Baptists, and you went to camp, you know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. So the beauty of church camp is that it turned down the noise and the focus of this world so you could tune your ear into the Lord. That was it, man. Because you're singing Jesus songs with Jesus people. It was all,
Mm-hmm.
When we planted this church, I thought the problem with adults is they didn't go to camp. They couldn't go to camp. I can't take people to a camp as grown people. So I thought, what if we just do the old school kind of tent revival idea, and we just bring camp to church? And so from Wednesday to Sunday, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday morning, we are just going to get focused. We called it Saturated because we want to be saturated in the Word of God, in the presence of God, with the people of God. And that's what we do. We just seek after God. And the Spirit of God shows up where He's wanted. And we also, to all of our, I just walked out there and saw the light situation, and I was like, this is Dallas's dream. Because we kind of keep it under control a little bit on the weekends, but I'm like, Dallas, at Saturated, you do whatever you want.
Let it rip.
We're going to rip it, man. Yep. And so at all of our campuses we meet, I bring in a bunch of my buddies to share the Word of God. This year's Willie Robertson from Duck Dynasty fame. He's become a buddy of mine. It's Phil Hopper. He's a friend of mine that is in Kansas. He's just a dynamic preacher. Our own Lisa Turkhurst, she runs Proverbs 31 Ministries, which is like a worldwide women's ministry thing. John Tyson, he wrote a book called Intentional Fatherhood. He's a pastor in New York, but he's from Australia. These are some of the best preachers alive. And then I'm preaching Sunday. And that's what we do. We just... In James chapter 4, verse 8, the Bible says, draw near to me and I will draw near to you. This is us as a church going, all right, Lord, we're going to take you at your word and we're going to lean in, and we know you're faithful and you're going to draw near to us. That's what it is.
It's hard to explain how powerful those, 4 days, 5 days?
Yeah.
5 days is. I would say, for both Angie and I and our marriage and our family, some of the most impactful, meaningful moments of our life have happened at Saturated.
Well, because like you go to
last 10
church.
years.
Church is awesome, dude. I obviously love church, but it's 1 hour. Well, it's for us, it's an hour and a half.
Yep.
And then it's like, you know, and you get moved and you're like, oh, wow, you know, I had this moment with the Lord, and then there's Monday, and then there's Tuesday, and then there's, you know, and then it's not till the next week. Well, here, it's just night after night after night after night. And it's preachers bringing their best. This is like the best of.
Well, my humble opinion, too, is it's the people who attend Saturated, who have been to this thing time and time again, walk into that place expecting miracles to happen.
Well, and that's where miracles happen.
And that is so contagious, and you can feel, I'm getting chills.
100%.
You can feel it the moment you sit in. And I've never sat up into a ton of revivals. I'm Southern Baptist, like dad or grandpa's preacher. I've never felt anything like it. Yeah. And I'm just, you can tell me if I'm wrong, you want to embarrass me, but I even get the sense when I'm sitting in Saturated that the people speaking feel that more so than they do at other times.
100%. I'm totally biased. This is the best place to preach on the planet. I get to preach everywhere. All the cool churches, every conference you've ever heard of. I get to go to all of them. To a person, every person I bring here, they walk off like, holy crap, these people love the Word of God. And I'm like, especially Saturated, because this is like the best of the best. Mm-hmm. And we've been praying and fasting, getting ready for this thing, leaning in, preparing. The anticipation is through the roof. We pull out all the stops musically, video-wise, all of that. It's just doxological excellence, and people are hungry. Mm-hmm. So preaching is a two-way street, man. I mean, if you're up there just preaching to a bunch of people falling asleep, you're like, all right, I'm going to just mail this one in. I'm done. But, man, when you're getting as much energy back as you're giving, bro, you crank that thing into sixth gear.
I never thought I'd say this, but I get so excited for Saturated. I never thought I would all year look forward to 5 nights of church.
Isn't it great?
Dude, I'm so mad because my work takes me away on the weekends.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't know, I need to talk to whoever's in charge here about not doing this during football season. Talk about being greedy.
Well, it's the perfect time because the attendance is through the roof right now because everybody's back in their regular rhythms, you know? And I'm trying to stake something. I want to drive a stake in the ground and say, let's remember this. Yep. We're not all just here because school started back and we're back in our normal rhythms. Yeah. We're going to start off this school year by making much of Him.
Now, I'm excited, dude. And I love to see, I'd love to see the way that it affects the speakers. Like, because it's just so obvious that they're just hit by something.
Yeah.
And it kicks them into a whole nother gear. And anybody who's been anywhere to see public speaking can see that.
Dude, when Tebow preached, it was great. So first of all, people have heard Tebow goes to church here, but if you're a big Tebow fan, go back and listen. It was 3 years ago or something. And he sits every week that he's in town, he listens. And I mean, he's here, he's in the third row. And when he's not, he listens. And he preached as a member of this church saying, look here, brothers and sisters, this is what we have been called to do. It was like I wrote it for you. You know what I mean? Like if I could have a spokesperson for what I want 1122ers to be, Tebow just got up there and did a 50-minute locker room speech to 1122 to go out and finish this game well. It was, dude, it broke the traffic. The sheriff called me during it, and I was like, hey, what's up? He goes, what is happening? I go, Tebow's preaching. He goes, never mind, I'll send more troops.
I just love how God called it Gator.
Oh, I know. That's great. I love it.
For you.
I love it. He's the best, too, by the way, just for all the people that want to know. That's one of the questions I get. Is he really that he's more devoted than you even know?
It is actually amazing. I met him one time in a green room when he was speaking somewhere. I don't even know how we haven't, because I mean, he's been here his whole life. I've been here for 30-something years. We do a lot of the same things. Like, I don't have a relationship with him.
He's a real deal
at all. But every single person around here, everybody that's been around him, it's like I've never heard a person say that Tebow is a fake or he's anything less than 100% authentic.
That's what he is. I know him. I mean, I know him.
And for a guy who's put his faith out there from the time he was, 12 years old?
Yep.
Like, that's crazy.
And got ridiculed for it for a long time. And
oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But bottom line is, if you can get here to saturated, find a way to get here to saturated.
100%.
Now, you got to get here early.
And if you can't, if you're watch it online.
Yeah.
I'd tune in live. You know, it'll be on all the things, on our website, on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I would watch it. And don't just watch the speakers, bro. Watch, the services.
No.
And you'll get to see Dallas, your kid,
lighting it up,
show out. I mean, this is his Super Bowl.
I haven't seen him in like 2 weeks. I saw him in Miami, but he's right back here.
We're a week out from saturated, and they're prepping right
Is
now.
this kind of y'all's biggest week here at this church? Like, is this kind of the Super Bowl?
Other than Easter, but yeah.
Well, yeah.
But,
that's amazing. That's amazing. Well, you got anything else?
Nah, man.
We're an hour over here.
Let's go.
The last time we did this is the second most listened to show that we've had.
People like to hear your wisdom, brother.
It's just me asking some questions to you, man. Get to saturated though, for serious. Like, get to saturated. I cannot tell you that enough, just because of what it's done in my life and what it's done for so many people that I know that have spent time with saturated. You want to get there. And as always, thank you guys for listening. Built for More. This thing has been really well received, largely because you guys are so awesome with sharing it. And so continue to do that. We appreciate it. And we will be back soon with another guest. Thank you.